gobble, motherfucker.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
Estrogen levels peaking. It's like she's in heat.
When are you gonna grow up, man? Chicks love cars. If you want to get into their pants, you better have a nice, hot Ferrari.
She's my hot Ferrari. Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid. It gets 100 mpg.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! I love my eyes!
Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of Schlock Talk, absent-mindedly masturbating to thoughts of the ex-wives of the Beatles, especially that one with a leg missing, since 2013.
Stump porn.
I'm Gabe.
I'm Joel.
Amputees are hot. I'm Paul.
I'm Grace. How about that airplane food? I'm a guest.
And I'm Alan.
I'm going to imitate Grace. I am Craig. Ha ha ha. Insert lame joke here.
How about that human food?
So, tonight's movie is Starcrash from 1978, directed by Luigi Cozzi.
Starcrash.
And we have a guest schlocker tonight.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yes. You better brace yourself before you grace yourself.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
Grace comes to us via Paul's loins.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
He
Sadly.
gave birth to me himself.
It was quite
No
painful.
one doubts that.
When we decided to have Paul's daughter Grace as a guest schlocker, I was excited at first, but then I gave pause. While Grace is now 18 and a legal adult, I have known her since she was 3 years old, and I quickly realized that I would have to clean up my act, and specifically the podcast intro, lest I embarrass myself, or more importantly, be a bad influence on the impressionable young lady. So for starters, tonight's movie is the PG-rated Starcrash, the wholesome, socially conscientious story of some space smugglers, an evil count, and the completely bloodless war to end his tyrannical plans.
Wait, this is Star Wars, right?
The
Well, there
intro
was a
sure as hell
lightsaber.
looks like it.
Yeah. Rape? Not in this movie, brothers and sisters.
That wasn't in Star Wars.
Lame.
Sexual perversion? No, but there's plenty of swashbuckling high-tech adventure that young and old alike can enjoy.
There wasn't even any animal mutilation.
So no, this episode's introduction will not include any gay jokes unless it's to make light of how happy we all are to be bringing you a family-friendly podcast.
Why are you doing this?
And there will be no...
You said there was no rape or animal mutilation, but there's the worst thing ever if you watch it on YouTube. French shit. If you go to YouTube and watch the YouTube version, it's the French version, and so you're gonna have to read a bunch of French shit words.
Right, and they they superimposed Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Starcrash, le choc des étoiles. Le choc des étoiles.
Your
You know,
Starcrash smells of elderberries.
I have a feeling that this is probably the movie that inspired Fifth Element with just as ADD as it was.
Yeah. So no, this episode's introduction will not include any gay jokes unless it's to make light of how happy we all are to be bringing you a family-friendly podcast. And there will be no references to semen, vaginas, or butthole harassment.
No, there will.
Sorry, I gotta make an amendment to that one.
And I will not...
There.
And I will not make light of the horrific, calamitous death of thousands, because even mentioning such things would be in poor taste. And for this episode, at least, that cannot happen.
Well, I guess the podcast is over. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Lastly, having Grace here means I can't insinuate that her dad, Paul, spends his nights cruising for black tranny hookers in Northeast Portland,
African American, you racist.
only to pick up and drug them and take them back to his work shed and drill them full of holes and embalm them while still alive, all in a constant state of masculine excitement. And then go to his small freezer full of excised male and female genitalia and make his perceived needed amateur plastic surgery alterations to his poor victims as they slowly and horribly shuffle off this mortal coil. Nope, I'm not going to mention that because Grace is here.
Buffalo Bill is such an amateur.
So anyway, tonight's movie is Starcrash. And Grace, what did you think about this movie?
It was so bad.
You're going to have to talk louder than
It was
that.
so bad. Okay, first of all, so it's like Dad was like laughing so hard. Like when it first started, I was like, "What are you doing?" Like he was just so amused by it, and then he kept quoting it.
Yeah.
That was short-lived.
It was,
I would
yeah,
imagine so.
we got like 10 minutes in it. We were done. Our favorite part was when she becomes like a slave or whatever, and then everyone else has the slave outfits, and she's like in a bikini.
Yes.
And then suddenly she's in a grass field.
Okay, well, we'll get there. So Starcrash opens up, and it announces that it's an SND Distributions production. What do you guys think SND stands for?
Don't ask Craig.
Sucks.
There's an N in it.
Oh God.
Sucks nasty dick.
So Starcrash is like Star Wars, only in no way cool, fun, entertaining, or coherent. I had a couple of questions, like immediately. Why does outer space look like a gay disco? And why are the doors in the future so narrow?
I just know in the first 5 minutes of this movie, I have not seen so many pink balls slapping people in the face since the last time I accidentally fell asleep at Paul's house.
I gotta tell you, the guy gets like, what is it? They're saying like, I don't know what it was, Colonel Rickenbacker or whatever. Like, report to the deck. It's constantly repeating the thing, and the guy's like, all right, I fucking heard you.
Yeah.
You think he was going to, like, I don't know, what was it, the turbo shaft or turbo lift in Star Trek where it can move sideways? He goes into a fucking little tiny elevator. It's not even an elevator. It just rotates 90 goddamn degrees. You don't need a fucking elevator there. You just need, like, some kind of nexus or fucking atrium or something.
Or a corner.
Around the
Archway.
corner.
Yeah. As well.
So he gets there, and we see this nice little drawn-out process where this fancy white elevator, looks like it was made in an Apple store, rotates 90 degrees so he can go to the freaking bridge.
So one of the characters says, "We have entered the very heart of the haunted stars, but we have been unable to find the hidden fortress." And I was happy to find out that this movie references Akira Kurosawa. Oh, wait. In no way does this movie reference Akira Kurosawa. No. The captain of the ship says that the planet they are going to is nothing but ice and snow and a sea of whiteness. Kind of like Portland. Paul liked that one. So the ship...
Because there's so many white people here.
The ship is attacked by interdimensional hostess snowballs.
Yeah, just again, pink balls just flying in people's
Yeah,
face.
that makes like no sense. Anyway, and then this is followed by a text crawl in French, at least on the YouTube version of the movie, which means I could not tell exactly what was going on, but was utterly convinced that it was something really, really stupid.
No,
And
with my limited
thought-provoking.
my limited knowledge of French, it said something about the Jerry Lewis telephone.
Okay.
It was something very emotional and thought-provoking, like most French films, right?
Yes.
You're supposed to walk home with a deeper understanding of ourselves.
Well, to be fair, it's a French version of an Italian production. So,
which is probably an adaptation of an American production, which is an adaptation of a Chinese production.
Which is a rip-off of Star Wars in the worst possible
It's
way.
a crazy game of, like, telephone perversion, I guess.
one of the first stars of the movie mentioned is Marjo Gortner. I have nothing to add to that.
And surprisingly, I think the first name that came up on there was David Hasselhoff.
He was one of them. Yeah.
No, it's like the first name in the credits, I'm pretty sure, right?
I wasn't aware he was in this. It was like getting a fake tattoo in your Cracker Jacks. I thought it was pretty awesome that he's in there.
Hey, upon further investigation, that garbage language beneath Starcrash says the ultimate intergalactic adventure.
Oh boy.
Wow. Never has intergalactic
False
adventure seemed so
advertising.
crappy.
Also, the movie has Christopher Plummer. Clearly someone had footage of him participating in a snuff movie and blackmailed him into participating in this movie.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the movie so far, Grace?
It's 5 minutes in. Give us your opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have to say my opinion of the movie as it's going.
Well,
That's
no,
the idea,
I'm
right?
just giving you an opportunity to contribute.
Express yourself.
Within these first 5
Hey,
minutes,
hey,
Grace,
hey.
was there anything in the scene that stuck out to you? Anything you could riff on, tell a joke about, pick apart, like a scab that's been festering in the sun?
No. Okay.
No pressure. No pressure. Okay.
No.
So Carolyn Monroe
there.
is also in this movie, Mrs. Ringo Starr. So her and the foxiest dude in the galaxy get pulled over by a robot cop.
It's Carrot Top who laid in a tanning bed too long. He's not the foxiest guy in the galaxy.
I thought that was Gene Wilder's son.
Yeah.
It's actually Marjo Gortner is who that is.
Wow.
Okay, Marjo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the interpretation I gave you was incorrect of the garbage language. That was for the American version. I was reading something else. Le Choc des Soleils means the clash of stars. So it's called Starcrash, the clash of stars.
And there are no stars in this movie,
It
so
would
I
be
don't know where
better
they
if it
got that.
translated into the crash of stars.
Well, not true. There's a neutrino star right at the beginning that pulls in the ship, and then
They're like,
get
oh my
away.
god, it'll suck us in. Watch out for it.
We were all hoping that it would suck them in, and the movie would end at that point.
Yeah, we're
But
introduced
sadly, it did
to
not happen.
what is it? Stellar Star and Acton or whatever.
Yeah.
Acton.
You know, and this movie was made in '79, right? I remember
78.
that. I remember because that 4th of July that year, there were no fountains or sparklers available anywhere.
Because they were all being used as special effects in this
Yeah.
movie. And so when they get pulled over by the cops, Carolyn Monroe, Stella, says, "Go for hyperspace. Go for it." And Fancy Boy gives them a 3% chance of surviving the jump. And unfortunately, they succeed.
Yes, we were all saddened a little bit by that point in time.
So the two of them arrive at the Haunted Stars, and they run across the ship from the beginning of the movie that blew up and got killed by the pink blobs or whatever.
The hostess.
And so Mrs. Ringo Starr, she goes inside the ship, and while she's there, she saves a crew member.
No. You're forgetting the best part.
I
They
also
find a
said
derelict freaking ship, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to go fucking check it out. And it's not like, hey, let me just go to the freaking teleporter and get beamed aboard. Let me go take a fucking shuttle. She fucking dons a fucking spacesuit and swims her fucking breaststrokes her ass to the fucking ship.
Through outer space.
Through outer space. Breaststroking.
Well, it's a good thing there's all that
Breast
friction
being the
out there.
key words. I mean, word.
Like, how is she supposed to get inside the friggin' ship? There's like a screen door. We'll get more on that later about how so many laws of freaking the cosmos have been broken in this movie.
So while she's at the ship, she saves a crew member, and the Fancy Boy tells her he's dehydrated and suffering from exhaustion, so apparently he needs to go to celebrity rehab with Dr. Drew.
I think we all do.
And the crewman wants them to alert the Emperor of the first ring of the universe, which I'm pretty sure is not a sentence in English or any other known language.
It's
The
French.
first ring of the universe.
And so police Robot L was able to follow them through hyperspace, and he tells them that their friction tail was easy to follow.
Yes.
Yeah, more about
Space
police
friction.
robot officer L, right? So I'm assuming this is possibly the descendant of Rotor.
Yeah.
And through many years of inbreeding, it sort of created the this backwater kind of
was he
country robot.
Southern?
Yeah.
First, he was Southern right off the bat. I didn't notice he was Southern
off the
until he
bat.
shows up later.
And
in the
like,
movie.
it's just like this. The whole chase scene was like, boy, these robots gonna try and catch them Duke boys, you know?
Well, obviously there was some wood involved in this robot because he was voiced by Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah. And so the two of them are captured by the cops, the space cops.
Yeah,
Space cop.
it's the space cops.
And then we meet the Count, the villain of the movie. And he's played by Joe Spinell, who's from the original Maniac from 1980.
Did he do like voices for Speed Racer enemies or something like
He
that?
might have.
He seriously sounded like shitty imported cartoon villain.
Yeah, he's pretty great. And so he tells his minions that there was one damn survivor. Sorry for the bad language, Grace.
Hey, my daughter's here.
But his brain was fully damaged.
Bullshit.
I don't know how he would know that. But anyway. So, meanwhile, Fancy Lad and Mrs. Ringo Starr are being judged by the big green head tentacle and a plastic orb
That thing was disturbing.
from Invaders
Okay,
from
I
Mars.
have-
It's from Invaders from Mars from like 1955.
Okay.
Is that what it
Because I
looked
thought
like?
I was crazy. I'm like, that is from something
They
else.
seriously ripped that.
Yeah, from an
copied
old
and
movie called
pasted.
Invaders from Mars. It's actually a kind of a cool horror sci-fi movie from like 1954, 1955. And so we find out that the one Fancy Boy, his name is Acton of 9 Vega, and he gets 200 years of hard labor And Stella Star gets hard labor for life, and apparently there's a distinction between these two sentences, which made no sense at all. Because, I mean, they're human beings, right? They're going to live to be 80, maybe?
No, maybe there's some crazy future laws.
They're
where they
aliens,
just
man.
live forever.
Okay.
They're not from Earth.
So Stella is sent to prison immediately and tries to stir up unrest among the prisoners. And she starts with who appear to be the developmentally disabled Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
The thing she was complaining about, she's like, oh my god, this radiation from this is going to burn off my skin. It's like she was just a little bit more concerned with the, what it was going to do to, like, her looks than the fact that it was backbreaking labor and that she was carrying around radioactive elements.
Yes.
Very heavy radioactive elements.
And interject a random bit of tandomness like I usually do. This movie proves that you can't trust foreigners with money because they spent $4 million on it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's got like half of
Account for inflation.
Craig is not racist at gmail.com.
And so one of the guards beats Stella with a car antenna, and then she shoots him with what they refer to as a gun ray.
That seems
Only
hot.
2 days away from retirement.
Damn it all.
And a laser battle ensues on what is clearly the worst Halo multiplayer map of all time. And so Stella escapes, and she's in the woods. Or no, she's
a few other points here.
Yeah,
fucking cornfield.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru live up to their Star Wars title where they get blown the fuck away.
Yes, they do.
They do not. And then Stella runs out of the building, and the building explodes for no reason that I can possibly understand.
They said
It just blows up.
if you shoot the like reactor with like a laser gun, it would blow up. Which was great that they had lots of guards walking around with laser guns near the reactor.
So
But yeah, it would overload it, blow it up.
Grace, this was like your favorite part of the movie?
Yeah, it was good. Actually, my favorite part, I think, is the part where... Or can I not go ahead?
No, go for it.
Go for it. Interject.
I like the part where her and Elle, they go in the snow and she has the high heels, of course.
Oh, no, we'll get there yet. Because
We're
we'll
not there yet.
get there to that. We'll get to that part.
You just told her to say what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
This
part of the movie.
God.
This part of the
Someone call the space police.
Yeah.
Hale's gonna come whoop your ass.
Oh, no.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You violated the spoiler alert law.
It's so Stella
I'm gonna have to
gets...
take you to
Don't
space.
you realize only I can give stuff away?
We'll get to the ice
You
part.
said I could say it!
We'll get to the ice part. I was talking about this part of the movie.
Yeah, I said, can I say anything?
Complaints can be lodged at Gabe is a dick at
Schlocktalk.com.
schlocktalk.com.
Yes.
No, but the Craig is not racist is actually a Gmail account.
So Stella escapes, and she climbs into the spaceship, and it has the sexiest cocktail lounge ever inside.
You said sexiest cock.
Tail. Sexiest cock friction tail of all time. And so...
Friction in space.
And police robot L tells her she can drop the rifle ray.
Yes, the naming on this is very original. The gun ray, the rifle ray. I do like
The
her
gun
prison
laser.
attire, by the way. Her prison attire makes her look like a slutty Laura Croft. And that takes some work.
Like a
You know what? I think we should start a fashion company and bring back the whole swimsuits with collars thing.
Yeah.
That is hot as shit.
Like Vampira.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Collars, huh?
Yeah, collars.
Slim's the gothic.
That's what she had going on. That's right. She had a collar on her freaking skank.
I know. I think if we were going to start a swimsuit line, we would just make bottoms. That way, we could encourage the girls to be topless.
No, collar. Yeah, like some kind of collar on.
Grace,
That would
feel
be
free
the
to
top.
weigh in at this point in time. What do you think about the...
Well, I'm afraid that I'll get stumped by Gabe.
No, you can't talk about bikinis.
It's all right. Go ahead and tell us your opinion about boobies.
We'll punch Gabe in the face if he's being mean.
Right in the face.
Go left
So,
in the
Robot
face,
L.
and then a right in the face.
Police robot L. He tells Stella that he's been ordered to save her and to free Acton, and as they need the two of them to do a mission.
I've been ordered to save you.
Yes. Also, this guy's name is Acton, as in he's always tried to fight the urge to act on those feelings he has for the other boys in the shower.
Tough acting to acting.
What's the name of the green-faced guy who's also there? Because there's some...
Thor.
The Qui-Gon
Thor?
or whatever.
His
How
name
do
was
you
Thor.
know their
Qui-Gon
names?
His name is
Jinn.
Thor.
Well, they mention it,
His
and I
name
looked it
is
up on
Stork.
IMDb.
This is his job.
Yeah, it is. It's my job to know, Grace.
Not the beloved character Whiny Boy from the Avengers movies you guys crave so much, but some bald green guy.
He was always winking.
Is he?
Yeah, he's always winking.
I missed that completely.
I think he has lazy eye.
Yeah. And so they find the Imperial flagship, and we meet Christopher Plummer, who's the Emperor. We meet him for the first time.
Yeah, he comes in superimposed.
Oh, that's right. He's a hologram, right?
No, he's a homogram. Apparently, that's what Elle said. There's a lot of like mistranslations in this fucking movie.
Oh my god.
There's his homogram. And I'm thinking, homogram? That's like when some gay guy wearing nothing but really tight gold shorts and some
Did you
Cupid
say
wings.
some gay guy? It looked like you said some gay guy?
Yeah, what are you giving, like ghost BJs?
Knocks on your door. Knocks on your door.
He's making a knocking motion. Oh,
Yeah.
sure. He was making a knocking motion.
You mean a fisting motion?
For
Knocks
those
on
of you
your
listening
door.
to the audio-only version, Joel was making a blowjob motion, which actually turns to be a knocking motion.
Yes.
You're
Knocking on your door and, hi, homogram, gives you a big hug and a kiss on the lips and sings you the message. You're being evicted. That's what I think when I hear homogram.
I think the green-faced guy, though, he's not blinking. I think it's a case of, like, tolerance and acceptance, because obviously this guy's had a stroke. Because that entire side of his face
He's
is
trying not to rage shit himself for doing this piece of crap movie.
He failed.
So the Emperor tells them that there's a war between the Empire and the Count, and that the Count has developed a planet-sized weapon. Right?
Yes, not a Death Star.
Right.
A planet-sized weapon.
And he tells them...
Death Star, Doom Machine, it's totally different.
He tells them that they'll have to travel to the haunted stars, and then Stella explains hyperspace to everyone.
Yes.
Hint, it's faster!
That was so dumb.
And so they find a planet, and Stella and Robot L land, while Acton and Green Goblin Rob Halford stay on the ship. We quickly realize that everything makes L nervous. It's like he's an anxious New York Jew from Texas.
No, he's like freaking redneck CP3O or some shit like that.
C-3PO.
The odds of navigating a pink snowball field are 1,000 billion to 1. Never tell me the odds.
And so, on the planet, they find a crashed ship but are confronted by Amazons on horseback. That's not a joke. That's a scene that was written into a script, produced into a motion picture, and released into movie theaters all over the world.
Wait, this was in theaters?
Yeah.
And so, you can kind of understand, this is kind of where it really starts breaking down, and everyone on this job was not paying attention. You're like, okay, so there's Amazons riding horseback. Maybe this is like a Planet of the Apes kind of deal or something like that. And they suffered some drastic cataclysm which set them back to prehistoric times.
Except for later on, they're going to be sending shape. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So Stella is captured by the Amazons, and we find out that they're led by Queen Corellia. And improbably, Elle breaks in and holds a gun to one of the Amazons' heads and manages to save Stella.
No, you're forgetting it. So what it is she sees them on the video screen, and then she goes, time to take our revenge. With the deadpan look on her face, and then she gets this creepy-ass smile on her face. Like she just shit herself, and she's not supposed to do that. Explicitly not supposed to do that. Out of pure defiance.
She was instructed.
Out of pure defiance.
Not again. Do not
Of what's
soil.
acceptable. And then, they all walk in. So the Amazons apparently have a freaking spaceship, okay? So their spaceships come equipped with stables as well as horses housed in said stables on their spaceship for their invasions on planets. And the first thing they do when they walk in is just freaking shoot Elle.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's dead, but we see like the little jerking of his hand.
Much like Joel's motion earlier.
It might indicate that there's still a life, that his soul has not left his body yet.
And so, too, during this part, we can clearly see for the first time that Elle has a hole in the ass of his police robot pants. his space police robot pants.
Yeah, granted, Elle looks like...
Why do you laugh at that? Really? How is that funny?
Oh, there's a whole bunch more of them coming.
Seriously, it's just like... Elle looks like Gabe's retarded brother went to Comic-Con and wanted to do a nice costume that was a blend of Darth Vader and Boba Fett.
You just insulted our only fan. What the hell are you doing?
No, we have no listeners.
Wait, no, did you guys realize from the back he actually looks like his head looks like a dildo? No, I'm serious. From the back when Elle is walking, it's like a giant black dildo descending into bad green screen.
Does it look like the one your dad got you for your 18th birthday?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, you mean the one that you
That's
guys
a creepy
use?
coming of age.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. Really
Coming
appreciate
of
it.
age.
Dual-headed was nice.
Craig goes too far.
This awkward silence is brought to you by Nissan.
So they run out onto the beach. They run out onto the beach and they're chased by the Guardian, a clear nod to Jason and the Argonauts.
Jesus.
But this mechanical monster was clearly animated by Ray Harryhausen's mongoloid third cousin.
It's got
I
actual
was so
tits on this thing.
They were inverted nipples, and I was so excited. I'm like, what's going to happen? Something's
Yeah, I
coming out
thought they
of
were gonna
those.
have
I
guns,
would have thought
but they
more
didn't.
Amazons would have rode horses out of I don't fucking get it. Clearly they did not build a gigantic fucking model to chase these people. Why didn't they just get some asshole in a fucking costume to do the gigantic Guardian?
Or two people with guns to kill these people. What the fuck do they got a giant stop animation robot with a sword?
It is freaking so uncoordinated when it's walking like a fucking toddler for the first time. And they're running away, scared for their freaking lives. I'm like, that thing's gonna fucking fall and choke on its own drool
It's
before
made out of
it actually kills you.
It's made out of fucking Reynolds wrap. I don't know how it's gonna kill anybody.
So they make it back onto their ship and they're chased by Amazon space fighters, right?
Well, they didn't kill the robot yet. You can go into the...
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
did they
you're
blow up
forgetting
the
part-
robot?
No, it threw a dagger at them.
Right.
It's separating Elle from Stellar.
Okay, Stella.
Stiller.
Yeah,
I think it's Stella.
or Stella.
But
or
it was
whatever.
a stellar performance.
Yes. And I can't remember. She's probably like reenacting the God of War 2 fight with the Colossus or something, fisticuffing with it.
Yeah.
Elle manages to push the sword/dagger over and come to the rescue. And they do something, shoot
Comes
it.
to the rescue. He just walks over and leans over her while the ship comes down and blows the thing away.
Yeah, it blows it
'Cause-
down, and then as they're escaping on the ship, it's reaching for them as if it's don't let me live.
This is the problem the Count's going to have in the future here is that he arms his people really shitty. I mean, they've got spears.
Yeah.
They've got giant robots that
Space
walk like idiot
spears.
Space spears, space horses.
toddlers. Laser spears without the lasers.
Yeah, it's funny because a space horse, you could call them a sporse. And a space spear, you just call it a spear.
Okay.
Wah, 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 wah.
Thank you, Alan. For
And
once, I didn't
space
have to
actors.
point it out.
That one was too bad even for me.
So they make it back. They make it back into the ship, and they're chased by Amazon space fighters. And thankfully, the crew of the ship are able to defeat the Amazon Paul with the power of illegal fireworks.
Hey, I'm telling you that $4 million budget,
Yeah.
well spent.
So Acton tells Stella that they have to go to a planet covered by ice and snow, and she tells him, "Sounds like a real garden spot, but you know what? I don't care." Obviously, this was the same thing she said when her agent told her after he read the script and told her to pass on this movie.
Also, we get to go to this part now.
Oh, it's
Yes.
crazy stuff because
We do.
Acton, who's also the Commander Data of the starship Fuck My Life, is all but after sunset, the temperature drops several thousands of degrees, and I was and so me, fine, whatever. As a science background, I can tell you that's bullshit. Unless they're using some fucked up scale of temperature in the future.
Hey, you've never been to the Haunted Stars, all right?
Why can they just sit around there walking around like they're just freaking sledding and downhill skiing in these nice snowy slopes in the daytime?
So Stella and Elle find another ship on the ice planet, Grace.
Thanks.
And Stella gets depressed. She gets upset or something here. It was really didn't make any sense. But Acton talks to the computer, which up to this point we did not know was possible. And this sort of thing is going to happen a lot in this movie. But then he is betrayed by Green Goblin Rob Halford, also known as Thor.
Who would have thought Thor would have been a bad guy? I mean,
Yeah.
green, pointy ears, bald.
So he takes Acton out, and then he calls the Count and tells him he will soon be joining him and will be his Prince of Darkness.
Wait, can I just say that at this part, I kind of shipped it. Like, there was a love connection going on. Like, I could envision it, like, them going somewhere.
Why can't I quit you, Thor?
I actually looked for fan fiction, and surprisingly, there was none.
Oh!
Did you write it?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
It's gonna make some anime hentai porn.
It would be called Yaoi.
The
thank
pages
you.
turn from
Yaoi.
left to right.
Yeah, it would be
for
Yaoi Joel.
So
the count can't pass on that Green Goblin ass.
So Thor would be like the commanding masculine one, and Acton would be the pretty boy.
It's actually there's terms, Gabe. It's
Yeah, no, that's what
okay?
Yeah.
Please get them correct.
Okay, go for
Holy
it.
fuck, I don't know all these words.
What are they?
It's because I'm weeaboo shit.
Wow, can I quote you?
You can't call me.
Because I'm weeaboo shit.
So Thor, as the masculine
The
dominant-
semi.
The semi.
Yeah.
And
he
then-
has to have an elongated chin. And like his lips down here. And then like hands the size.
I think we can pull that off.
Yeah.
And Acton is the...
He turns into like a 5-year-old boy. That's what
Oh,
happens.
Jesus.
No, wait, no.
That's what happens if you want to be real.
Okay.
Fans, we've just
Wanna be
reached a
real.
new
But
level.
what is the kind of more feminine dude?
It's the uke.
The uke.
Yeah.
Okay.
The uke.
I'm feeling uke right now.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have any medicine?
I'm semi-UK, so I might be doing more in the future. I don't know.
So Thor won't let Stella and Elle back onto the ship, and so Elle holds her hand and puts her into suspended animation. I honestly couldn't tell the difference between her asleep and her awake and acting.
How does this robot with a handhold
Yeah.
manage to keep you alive during a drop of several thousand degrees? There's something about electronic pulse or
I
some
have no
shit
It's
like
the
that.
power of friendship.
I'm pretty sure your blood freezes
It's
and
the
you
power of
die.
love.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then Grace, you had a point. She's wearing something that makes absolutely no
Yeah,
sense.
she's wearing high heels, which obviously it's very
High
efficient
heels
in
and
the
some
snow.
like
In the
corset
snow.
or something like that. I don't know.
Have you tried
Something
high
out
heels
of-
in the snow? Do you really know, Grace?
Something
you?
out of her closet.
Yes, I have.
At the Ringo
It
Starr
was
residence.
difficult to get around. But I
I've been
figured it
ignoring
out.
everything that's going on as I'm looking up what weeaboo is.
Oh
So
my god.
Just don't hit the image button.
yeah. So
Please.
back on the ship, we find out that Acton is not really dead, and he and Thor have a karate fight, a space karate fight.
Wouldn't that
And
be
Acton.
sporati?
Sparati.
Yeah.
Isn't that Italian ice cream?
That's like
That's gelato.
Spumoni.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's Spumoni.
Wow, I think I just spalatied in my pants right
Yes.
Spung fu.
So Acton absorbs Thor's deadly ray gun rays and he kills him. And I call them deadly ray gun rays because that's what Thor calls them.
Yeah, and then he shoots them back. He's like, I'm going to kill you with
Yes.
them.
As you can tell, guys, I'm starting to think that possibly in 1980 there was an act passed by Hollywood that says you will have no more than 2 fucking plot devices in your movie.
Oh, yeah.
This movie, the
Has,
fuel,
like-
the things that fuel the freaking spaceships is plot devices.
Yes.
Oh man, I mean, the worst part is when he kills him. Right, so he absorbs the lasers, and they shoot back, and all you see are little beams of light come out and disappear on the guy. There's no explosions. There's no holes.
I think he blinks red.
Well, they ran out of fireworks for that scene.
I know. It's terrible. That's what you only get $4 million in budget. You can only stretch it so far.
This whole movie is a mental projection of 2 5-year-old boys on the playground having a pretend fight, right? Like, I'm
Oh,
Darth
yeah.
Vader, and the other kid's like, oh yeah, well, I'm fucking Shredder from Ninja Turtles. And they start fighting. And they're like, I've got a sword. He's like, I've got a shield. No, I've got a laser gun. I'm like, well, I have a shield that deflects the laser guns and shoots it back at you. It's like, oh yeah, well, I just turned the
I've
ground
got an
into lava.
Amazon on a horse.
I've got a time ray.
I just turned the ground into lava.
I got a large tinfoil statue that comes to life and tries to kill
And
people.
it's got nipples.
With nipples.
So Acton brings Stella back on board, and they're able to defrost her, but with glowing rainbow hemorrhoid pain that Acton shoots out of his hands.
Tenactin.
And we also knew that Acton. We also find out that Acton knew that Thor was evil, and he tells
Plot device.
Stella that he has the power of foresight, and he did not tell her about it because he knew that she would want to use the power to try and change the future, which is illegal.
Plot device.
Wow. So let us condense this down. He lets her go out into the snow to die a horrible frozen death.
Yep.
So he cannot change the future, and not so that immediately after the fact that she gets frozen and almost killed, he can let her know that he has this power to change the future, thus voiding out the whole purpose in the first place.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
what are you
basically,
smiling at?
Look what you started, Grace.
What did I start?
Wigaboo.
This is all symbolic for Christianity.
Okay, I'd like to say,
and,
first of all, I'm
yeah,
not on that
free
level.
will.
Yes.
That's deep, Paul.
It's a man dressed up in some sort of winged anime costume with a blue hair, and he's fat. It's Craig. Guess.
Hi. I do that kind of thing on the side.
Is he wearing high heels in the snow?
No, he's wearing like
Only for you.
he's wearing like boots.
Yeah. Boots and a blue dress with these wings and a blue wig with a bright red bow.
I look fashionable.
So
Is it my birthday?
the crew in the spaceship, they next go to the planet Demundria, but they are attacked by the red orb weapons from the beginning of the movie. Those Hostess snowball things.
Red my ass.
And Acton says we've
I
just
bet your ass is red.
You'd know.
He's the one who turned it that color.
This pivotal scene right here really made me feel concerned for Stella's freaking
yeah.
general grasp of reality.
Yeah, because Acton says we just survived an attack by the strangest weapon in the galaxy, and Stella
Strongest.
says we have.
That was strongest weapon in the galaxy. How did they survive it? They just flew through it and it didn't kill them.
Yeah, it's just fine that she got over her fucking post-traumatic stress disorder by Acton saying, "Oh, we survived," and she just starts laughing and smiling like she's so freaking happy. She's like this bipolar. No, I'm sorry, space bipolar. So spypolar, manic depressant.
And so they land on the planet, and they find the third crashed ship, and they're being followed by somebody. And Elle goes into the crater to look for survivors, but they're instantly attacked by cavemen.
Yes.
And don't forget, there's a really great caveman panty shot where he jumps over and you get a nice view of his ass for like 3 seconds.
No, you're forgetting once again.
Do cavemen wear panties?
You're forgetting once again the fucked up translation in the movie. They come to the crater where the ship has crashed, and Elle says, "It's time for some robot chauvinism."
Oh yeah, that was Dad's favorite.
I'll go. And I'm like, did he mean robot chivalry?
No, chauvinism works on that one.
And they're called cave manties.
Cave manties.
Spanties.
Space cave manties. Spave manties.
Cave spanties. And one of the cavemen manages to hit Elle right in the transistor radio, which kills
I
him.
hate it when that happens.
Oh.
And they capture Stella. And so the cavemen have Stella, and they have her tied up upside down. They're probably going to rape her. And oh, no, wait, this is a PG movie. They're merely going to cook and consume her flesh.
No. PG, they're going to make her, like, clean their rooms and stuff like that. And sew new socks for them, right?
She's going to be like the caveman...
Snow White or something like that.
Yeah.
She won't be allowed to go to the caveman.
She's like going to be like the caveman fraternity mom.
Space ball.
So Stella is saved by someone who's clearly David Hasselhoff in a Zardoz mask.
Speaking of Neanderthals,
He just stands there and shoots lasers from his eyes.
Plot device. Dude, it was like, what is it? The fucking, like, special effects coordinator or the what is it? The screen panel writer was the guy who did the fucking Herculoids. You ever see that cartoon?
Oh, yeah.
Where the fucking dragon shoots lasers out of its eyes, mouth, and fucking tail?
Yes.
It only takes 54 minutes for him to make his appearance in the movie, Mr. Hasselhoff.
And so David Hasselhoff, he tells her that he has an energy shield mask, but clearly has no effect on his silky, girlish bouffant. Because when he takes it off, his hair is perfect.
And the fact that he does take it off and never puts it back on,
makes no
why?
sense.
Which is
He
weird.
mentioned something about it takes a lot of energy to recharge or something. They actually gave a reason, but it was a stupid
It's a plot
reason.
device, once again.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's funny, because, you know, I kept looking at him like, who does he look like? He looks like Ray Liotta with Gene Simmons' fucking hair.
He does.
Yeah.
Stop hassling the Hoff, man.
And so we find out his name is Simon, and we don't know it yet.
Simon.
But spoiler alert, he's the Emperor's son.
Oh, so you can do spoilers?
Yes, I can.
There's a double standard. You're
Now
a
you
girl.
know my
You can't.
Oh
do
my
this.
God.
Hey, that's not me. I'm just quoting Gabe.
And so they kill a bunch of the cavemen, but are just about to be recaptured when Acton shows up and saves them with his shite saber. It's like the worst lightsaber in the world.
It's seriously where they got the idea from Spaceballs, where you have the ring that shoots the lightsaber out, because that's what it
Yeah,
was.
pretty much.
Yeah. And Acton tells Stella and Simon that their actions have been part of the Count's plan all along, because he can see the future.
I thought the part that was awesome was he goes, obviously we're on the Count's planet because we've passed the 2 defenses. There was the pink space balls that teabagged you, and then there was the cavemen.
The troglodytes. The troglodytes are what they call them.
Troglodytes, yeah.
They're fucking cavemen. Is this the best this guy can offer?
Hey, well, you recently got that Comcast home security thing. Doesn't it have the snowballs and cavemen?
I got the wrong package.
I don't think that's a home security system, Gabe. I think you are the victim of a fucking very sick practical joke.
If I want to hit the burglars with pink balls, I will just strip down naked, grab the rope that's attached to my ceiling, and swing down at them.
Craig got the budget one. It shoots Twinkies at you, and if that doesn't work, the Down syndrome people come out and take you out.
Grace,
the people under the stairs.
Yes.
Grace, you look like you've been holding a couple of jokes back.
I have a lot.
I think it's vomit she's holding back.
Tell us about the scenes.
Thanks.
Go for it.
There's been a lot of puns I've been thinking of.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to hear them.
Well, they passed by now.
No, go for it.
Go for
I
them.
can't even remember them. It was like, at the Thor scene, I was gonna say he died a Thorable death.
I wish you would have thwarted that one out better.
That was bad. That was bad.
And so Acton tells Stella and Simon that their actions have all been a part of the Count's plan. And Simon says, I didn't even realize it. And Acton says, there's no way you could have. And I have to assume he's referring to him being David Hasselhoff. And so, having defeated the cavemen, they set off through the caverns with a plan to go destroy the machinery of the weapon, right?
Yeah,
you gotta
they
stop
totally
this
knew
pink-
where the fuck it
pink
was
balls.
in this cave that they just coincidentally happened to be in.
And Simon sees some sort of mechanism, and he says, pre-programmed computers?
What the
They
fuck
can
is a
run
pre-programmed
forever."
computer? What the fuck is a pre-programmed computer?
It's a computer. You don't have to program yourself.
And we find out they could run forever, which is what he says. I found that to be fairly amusing. And Acton says that the weapon drives people insane with holograms of monsters.
Oh, so is it a copy of this movie?
You just start seeing it play in your immediate field of vision.
But that's what that was. Those pink blobs are monsters.
Who the fuck's fears
that drive people
pink
insane.
snowballs? Like, fucking really.
And then while all this is happening...
The one guy you go see at 7-Eleven, and every time he sees his snowballs, he just gets in the fetal position and starts crying.
Why are the pink snowballs coming down upon me? It's hurting me very badly. Oh no, stop it.
Send your complaints to Craig is not racist.
at gmail.com. So while all this is happening, they stop at what appears to be the...
Because
Snowballs killed my father. And raped my mother, who gave birth to me. And now I sell them.
They were abominable snowballs. They were very terrible.
So while all this is happening, they stop at what appears to be the Doomsday Machine soda fountain for some Mr. Pibb. Space Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb. Mr. Spib.
And while this is happening, the Count and his minions swoop in and they take Stella and Acton and Simon hostage. And the Count says he's going to blow up the planet and kill everyone, which seems like a real waste of a pink blob monster insanity-inducing doomsday device, in my opinion. He tells the twin robots, who we saw at the very beginning of the movie, to keep them there while he and his
I
men
think
flee.
you mean Sprobots.
Seriously, like 2 more retarded robots that can barely freaking move.
And Acton fights the robots, manages to kill one of them before getting sliced on the arm.
You know, Sprobots reminded me of something I bought the other day. It was a sperm bot.
What the fuck is a sperm bot?
Oh, language!
Grace, you're on this podcast. You can't use such language.
Yes.
Why do you need
Are you trying to have another kid?
Is the wife that lonely?
No, man. It gives you nice. It makes your skin glow.
Do you use it for bukkake fun? That's another term.
Bukkake
That's where there's dicks everywhere. Like dick here, dick there.
I think
I don't like this podcast.
Isn't the bukkake not the dick, but the actual cum shot?
Well,
Isn't that like the cum all over her face, the bukkake, and not
So
the dicks?
uncomfortable.
well, it's like there's many dicks. It's like a circle. It's like a circle. It's like a
circle of
It could
dicks.
even be.
It's
Well,
a
if you
cult
had-
of dicks.
If you had like,
Craig points at every one of us.
if you had like normal white guys, midgets, and a bunch of black guys, it would almost be like a sphere of dicks.
Yeah, I guess.
God.
Or it could be like a chessboard of dicks.
Yes.
Like if you had the black and the
What
white.
about the queen? Is
You're
that
the
just a
queen.
gay
If
dick?
you're there, then there's a queen.
I'm a queen. Okay.
You're the queen.
So Acton fights these two robots.
As Gabe continues.
And he manages to kill one of them before getting sliced on the arm. And then Simon, with the power of incredible amounts of guy liner, holds back the second one long enough for Acton to take him out too. And Acton is dying, and Stella tells him that he can heal himself, but he tells her he cannot. He must obey destiny, because apparently he takes all his orders from a stripper. A space stripper.
I can do it.
A stripper. A stripper. And then he de-reses Tron style.
God.
The same way the robot.
Was he even real?
De-reses? I know I said rezos. I don't know.
He space
De-reses.
de-reses.
Space de-reses.
Space de-reses.
And Simon and Stella then meet with the Emperor, and he halts the flow of time with a space ray.
Another fucking plot device
A
jammed
green-
up my ass like the fucking colonoscope
They
of
take-
fucking hatred.
They take everything that could make this scene anxious or plot-worthy whatsoever, and they just fucking take it away.
Yeah.
He's like, I wouldn't be
my-
emperor
It's
if I didn't
conflict.
have special powers. And then suddenly a green ray hits the thing, and it stops time. Oh, it's only for a limited amount of time. So do they hurry to run away and get away from the place? No, they turn around and they mosey. I can't even describe it another way. They mosey / prance their way to the fucking elevator.
They
Don't
freaking
get it coordinated.
stop and feed fucking ducks in the park and shit like that.
Yeah, the guards who are with them all like fall out and file themselves together and go out as well.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was really a great
No real
plot
conflict
device.
in this movie, as you can imagine.
And,
Yeah, I
and-
got, speaking of Joel, I do got 4 tickets to the Colonoscope of Hatred. If you
They're a pretty rockin' band. Like, you really feel them in your soul as well as your colon and lower
you can
intestines.
tell that they don't give a shit.
But you will after you see them
Yes,
They
plenty of
cleansed my
shits.
colon.
for several hours.
And so they escape from the planet before it explodes, and the Emperor decides that they need to attack the Count while he believes they're all dead. And he says it could save billions of lives, but he's not talking about anyone who's actually watching this movie, because if you've made it this far, you are now officially dead inside. Is that true, Grace?
Yeah, actually, that's all I thought.
You should just say, true dat!
No, I'm not going to because I'm not.
That's
Craig.
a
You better
Gabe
ask
joke.
somebody.
Or that's a Craig joke.
True
sorry.
dance. Okay, I did it for her. It's all good.
That was not me. That was Craig.
So the Emperor's forces attack the Count's fortress, which looks like a giant hand.
Wouldn't it be a sportress?
I guess. I didn't say it was a space fortress. I just
Well,
said
I
it was
mean,
a
they're in
fortress.
space.
Why do you want to imitate Gabe? Why does that make you feel cool?
He's my
It
hero.
never makes anybody else feel cool.
The Count says he will be the Emperor of the universe by sunset in space.
Yeah,
Space
there's
Sunset.
And the Emperor's forces shoot torpedoes full of dudes into the Count's
No, not only that, but
fortress.
the fucking torpedoes crash through their fucking pane windows
Yes.
on their fucking
Wait, the
fortress.
torpedoes full of dudes, that's what Alan was talking about, the sperm bot.
And does the fact that you have holes in the spaceship cause any problems for anybody
No,
inside?
no, it's just perfectly fine. I guess
No
there's some
decompression.
Yeah, exactly. Pane glass windows on a fucking spaceship. Gigantic, beautiful window fixtures being destroyed.
And it's pretty clear because there's an extended space battle at this point that all of the Count's fighters travel in Galaga formations. You notice this? They all are in what is that? Single
Straight
file
line?
line,
Yeah.
single file line, just to be lined up and be
They go
shot.
back and
Space
forth,
Invader
also
style.
down.
They also reuse a ton of fucking shots.
Yes, they do.
It's like they had one camera and the model, and they had just enough time before the model self-destructed to take one pass through it. Like, all right, we got it, cool. And the model exploded.
You can clearly see some early Battlestar Galactica,
thought
put into this, where they launched the space
the
fighters.
ships coming out of the anus of the Emperor's flagship.
Yeah.
They're just shitting the ships out. They did that for like 5 minutes. Just fucking repeat footage.
And so the Count's forces win the battle, the space battle, and he intends to send... Now, I'm confused, because he then says he's going to send the Doom Machine to the Imperial planet, but didn't the Doom Machine blow up?
Yeah, I thought that the fucking
Wasn't that the whole point?
snowball fear-inducing machine was the
Yeah, I
Doom
mean,
machine.
Anakin had to turn off his system and then shoot the missile down the exhaust pipe.
That was Luke Skywalker.
Anakin.
Oh yeah, whatever. Luke Skywalker.
Anakin just probably whined or some shit.
And then,
like that.
again, another plot device comes up. He's like, oh, wait a minute. We can use the Starcrash device.
Yes, fucking plot device number 171.
And I'm glad that he mentioned this, because otherwise this movie would have made no sense.
Yes.
And so Stella and Simon decide to head for the floating city, which, again, another plot device. They haven't even mentioned this floating city up to this point, right?
No, we haven't seen it.
Which amazingly was evacuated and primed with explosives within the 3 minutes that...
Plot device number 172.
Would it be a space city or a city?
Wait, I was wondering, why do they have to say the floating city? Because they're in space. Isn't everything going to be
It
floating?
doesn't float, it's just the drifting.
It's just there.
But if they didn't, it would ruin one of my favorite scenes that's coming up. Where the guy's like, there's a floating city coming. Garthon! Destroy the floating city that's approaching us!
And so Stella says she's going to steer the city along with Elle.
No.
And Elle's been... Okay, go ahead.
You missed it, Dad. You need to do the L scene where he comes back. That's the best scene in the whole movie.
Oh.
Yeah,
what does he say?
Plot device 173.
No, Dad,
or
he
whatever.
says it's great to be turned on again.
And being my age, I couldn't agree more.
I feel as good as new.
So Elle has been completely refurbished, but he's still a gigantic wiener.
Literally, he looks like...
And also, the floating city is rainbow fabulous. You know, there's like this shot of the floating city, and there's like rainbow...
Have we talked about their weapons and the bat wings attached to the weapons? Did we gloss over that?
Yeah, we glossed over that.
Totally glossed over that crazy shit.
We splossed over that.
Apparently,
space gloss.
Space gloss over it.
Oh my Christ, guys.
Apparently, the floating city got all their weapons from the bat cave.
Joel, do you have a spork? I'm going to eat some spam.
Alright, man. A space fork for your space ham. Got it.
Spare me?
I think what
Does that
happens...
space spare you?
Wait a minute, because
How about
there's
I just,
regular
like,
sporks,
not
there's bound to be space
humor
sporks.
your request
and
on
there's regular
spite.
spam, so there's bound to be space spam.
Would that be like...
Look, the sporadic space references key to spop.
Spop.
I'm about ready to like walk out of here out of spite.
Space spite.
Alright, fine. Spite.
And so, Stella and Elle take an elevator, a space elevator.
You're going to fucking pun hell, Gabe.
I've got it written right there, man. They take it to the city's cockpit, which is not the floating city's gay bar, by the way.
No, the floating city's Gabe bar.
And they head for the Count's fortress and build up. They should mention something about building up the nuclear power of the city. I think they say nuclear power of the
It's
city.
pronounced nuclear.
Right before they collide, they jump into outer space.
Yeah, no, they just fucking jump out another fucking window.
Wait, outer space in space.
Space.
Space outer space. Spouter space.
Outer space?
This is degenerated so bad.
Wait, I'd like to say... Did you guys... how did you pay attention to the plot of this movie?
What plot?
Well, that's my job, Grace. So I write down my notes, then I type my notes.
It's his punishment for picking the film.
It is.
You watch it once, he watches it 3 times.
I do.
Wait, Dad, don't you mean his punishment with all these puns happening?
Space
punishment.
Except for it's not a punishment. Gabe's a sadomasochist. He loves that shit. I don't think there's been a single movie we watched where he hasn't had a huge hard-on the entire time we've been watching it.
You mean a space hard-on?
The Spartan!
Spartan!
This is Spartan!
Then you kick him into a black hole.
Yes, a space black hole.
I am officially disassociating myself from this podcast for the remainder of this particular episode.
And so the Count blows up on his ship, and Simon rescues Stella and Elle.
Wait, he blows up? Does he blow up in the cockpit?
No, he's in his fortress when it blows up.
He's in his like freaking arthritis victim freaking fortress.
When the hand closed up, it did look really arthritic.
Very
He's like, oh god, this hurts.
Oh. And so back in the palace, the Emperor says, "We've won, and for a little while we can rest." And then that's the end of the movie.
Grace informed me that there is a Starcrash 2.
There is. There's a sequel.
No way in hell.
Yeah, there is.
Full of shit.
No, it's real. Actually, the series is normally called Stella Star's like Space Adventures or something.
Yeah.
So it's like you find those. Oh, Dad actually found a collection of fan fictions that you can buy of Stella Star.
Curved Space.
Yes.
Signed by the actress.
Signed.
Ellen Monroe.
She endorsed that shit?
Yeah.
Former Mrs. Ringo Starr.
I read something in the YouTube comments as they did a voiceover of her. Apparently, like, maybe she's got, like, some crappy-ass Cockney voice. Like, hello there!
No, there is a Starcrash 2, and it is just as shitty. Like, the same effects.
Did you expect it to be better?
Oh, that's not it. Is that really it? Go back up. Go back
Guys, just a spoiler alert for our Schlock Talkians. Hollywood's probably going to remake this movie sometime next year.
As Starcrash. Space Starcrash.
Holy
The
shit,
Revenge.
You know what else I found on YouTube that goes with this movie?
What's that?
Ewoks, The Battle for Endor, the full movie.
Oh, yeah.
We must do that one.
Yeah, we
Wait
will.
a minute.
There's Starcrash 2, and Escape from Galaxy 3.
It's
What on
like
earth
a
is
spiritual sequel to Starcrash 2?
I don't know. I think
Space
they went like
spiritual sequel.
A spiritual?
Shut up.
Shut
they did the Army of Darkness route. Like,
So
no, we're not even gonna name it the same
Yeah,
fucking
not
thing.
Evil Dead to Army of Darkness. Spiritual sequel. No, it's Army of Darkness is a direct sequel. Is it a spiritual sequel or a direct sequel?
So I want to remind everybody to like us on Facebook.
We're not done.
We're not?
No.
Oh,
Seriously, man, you fucking throw
No.
this piece of goddamn Sesame Street
your-
fucking watered down so children can understand the plot fucking movie at us? You don't
Okay.
expect us to lash out?
also, I have a do.
Schlock Talk, do
Yes.
burn this movie to DVD and burn it in your front yard.
I actually
No.
have a do too.
What the hell's it do?
A do is
It's
a
an
movie you should
STD,
watch.
a Schlock Talk do.
Do's and don'ts.
So I'm taking classes at Portland State. I'm a graphic design student. I often take classes with Master of Fine Arts students, which are a bunch of fucking weirdos. And as such,
What are fucking weirdos
They would watch
like?
Starcrash and be like, "This is the most brilliant piece of fucking crap I've ever seen."
I see what they've done there in space.
Did you see that? Look at her expression.
weirdos like get naked and paint yourself red and stand in the middle of the street for I don't know, some odd, weird, symbolistic reasoning.
I just do that for fun.
But anyways,
Yeah.
in one of my classes, we saw this. Was it Alejandro Jaworski movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's called The Holy Mountain. Now the
You mean
first
the
30
holy
minutes.
shit mountain.
Oh well, yeah.
Was it a
first-
space mountain?
A space
No.
mountain, if you
A
will.
mountain?
But some of the people from the movie were from the planets. But anyways, the
Yes.
first 30 minutes of this movie fucking suck. So I would severely suggest you fast forward it. Unless you like artsy fartsy crazy shit. There's no dialogue. It's like the first 30 minutes is basically anti-Christianity in a nutshell. Jesus is hung upside down and he eats his face, and it's really weird.
He eats his own face?
He eats his own face.
Like he's peeling off skin.
And then there's a child prostitute in this weird scene where this guy takes out his eyeball and gives it to her, and then he
French
like
movie.
pats her on
French
the head.
film? This is
no,
a French film?
No, it's a Spanish film.
This is Starcrash 3, right?
It's actually Mexican.
Mexican.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's if you click on YouTube and you look at the trailer for it, you could also watch it on YouTube. But it's like the surrealist masterpiece.
I love this movie, by the way.
No, it's a
Hit me
good
up on
movie.
Facebook yesterday.
No, it is a good movie, and me and Gabe were talking about it on Facebook. But yeah, it's just crazy as hell. There's these different people from different planets. They all have different vices. And the budget for this film was $740,000. It only made $90,000. And it was bankrolled by
John Lennon and
Yoko Ono.
Oh, perfect.
So you got a movie directed by this surrealistic visionary, bankrolled by two crazy fuckers, and it's Mexican. Sign me the fuck up. This is a great movie. Everyone should see it.
What's the name of the movie again?
The Holy Mountain.
The Holy Mountain.
That guy's he's a great cult director.
I don't know, Montoña something? Sancto?
What's that?
What's the Spanish name for it?
Montoña Sancto, maybe? I don't know.
I think it was.
Why do you care, Craig? So
Released.
you
It was produced in English.
Yeah, it's produced in English. It's just by a Mexican director.
Peruvian. I know a lot about this guy. So Alejandro Jodorowsky, or however you pronounce his name.
He's not today's Guillermo del Toro. Or
He has like a Spanish dad and a Polish dad and a Spanish mom, but grew up in Peru.
God.
And then wound up starting making movies in Mexico.
Wait, can you prove that?
I can't. Peruse.
Can you peruse that? Grace, please.
I know that because I perused the internet and read a lot of books about him.
And then I'll just end with this, with the little blurb that IMDb gives you. It says, this film is the omniscient view of what social engineering caused by greed has done to the modern world, but shows us how to live and not give into material world.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay,
Yeah, great.
All right.
So if you are a guy that fucking reads between the lines of fucking everything, including this product may cause goddamn cancer, see this movie.
No, one of my favorite scenes in this movie, though, is when Jesus, he
eats his face?
they knock him out, and they cover him in tallow, like fat, and then they make a cast out of him, and then they make 1,000,000 Jesuses, like with his arms
Wouldn't
spread
it
out.
be G-Eye?
So there's Jesus everywhere, and he wakes up and he's like,
He's like screaming.
and he starts bashing the shit out of everything, and then this old man dressed up as a woman picks him up and holds him in the classic Michelangelo pose where he's holding on to him,
breastfeeding him.
God, it was just.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't read between the lines of things. I just like it because it's a trip.
It's just so crazy.
It's a total trip.
There's some guy so detached from reality, he made this movie for me. Thank you for letting me see your insanity.
Yeah, but like I said, if you're a Master of Fine Arts student, the first 30 minutes is going to orgasm you like nobody's business.
Oh my God.
You're going to come at least 20 to 30 times. Because like once a minute, there's going to be a reference to some sort of artist or some sort of movement, and you'll be like, oh, Art Nouveau, and you'll just come everywhere.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, Paul, you had a do as
I
well.
do have a do. I recently watched The Sacrament.
Ooh.
Is that new, or is it just an
It's
older?
brand new.
Another religious theme.
Yes, it's a retelling of the Jonestown Massacre.
Ew.
Yeah, I want to see that.
It's
we
great.
needed that to be
Okay.
told again.
What's that?
We needed that to be told over again.
This was really well done.
Plus, it was Ty West.
It's the new Ty West mumblecore film. And no, it's great. It's kind of found footage, but kind of not. And I think that's its strength, is it kind of blurs the line between that. And it starts out great. I mean, it's just kind of slow building, and then the third act is just batshit crazy. It's
Awesome.
I loved it. And also, Grace had something. We wanted Craig to read something in his Golem voice.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I gotta
Whoa, Craig.
Originally,
Okay.
Craig
Encore performance.
was going to read like lines from 50 Shades of Grey.
And
did
he
read
has.
lines from
He's
50
got him
Shades
out
of
there on
Grey.
Facebook, right? Did you
I didn't post them on
Didn't
Facebook.
post
I'm
them?
waiting for him to get on our page eventually.
But Grace had found this thing.
I did, yeah, at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
3 a.m. She was
I don't even know how to describe
looking through her uke simi porn with weeb
No, I was
boobs.
researching vaginas because I got bored.
Do you not have one?
Like, what is a vagina?
Craig,
How can I create one in a lab?
Maybe we need to change that to Craig is not a creeper at gmail.com.
Craig is not
a
human.
creeping racist.
Craig is not human.
Craig, you're going to
That's
read.
fair.
Yeah,
This
read
seems
it all.
long.
It's not. It's worth it. It's good. It gets good. You have to get to the 4-star restaurant.
Okay, well,
Just
I'll
read the
give it
whole
a try.
thing.
Just read it.
How do you make my vagina smell like
Hold on a
roses?
second.
Oh, sorry, not there yet.
I got one.
How do you make my vagina smell like roses? I don't plan on doing anything to make anything. As far as you messing with your own vagina, don't! Past girlfriends have put scents between their thighs, or even gels that taste sweet on their actual vulvas. And I always make them take it off! Take it off! Do it! Do it! The natural dew that slowly oozes from your family. It's all that a real man needs to quench his thirst. Once you go into a 4-star restaurant and start messing with the fine ingredients of your dish, Golem! No, you wouldn't. So leave Trixie Hoppets. Leave your vagina alone. This includes deciding to shave off all your hair, which is something that only a half man would request of a woman. Trimming is fine. Request of a woman. Trimming is fine, but nothing captures the fragrance of a woman's very essence better. So wash daily. Rinse it with water. Don't do it with the dirty dudes. Wear breathable materials. And again, leaves it alone. It's my precious. Gives it to us. Gives us the precious vulva. Oh. Wow. Golem loves you in very nasty, dirty ways.
I won't sleep for weeks.
I will hear that running through my head every time I have sex with my girlfriend.
That'll be running through my head every time I have sex with Joel.
Wow, yeah. And I guess that's it.
So yeah, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and everything else that Gabe says at the end.
And please don't put hits on us.
Oh, and if you have any problems with the racial comments, please email Craig is not racist at gmail.com.